Hi Merfriends! I am Lyra and I'm here today to present you the Lucia Monofin, so the fish fin from Mermaid Lucia. Today I'm gonna talk to you about my own experiment with this monofin, and I'm so sorry if my English is very bad because it's not my language, but I will do my best so just you can understand what I'm saying. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already a member of the crew. So now let's get started. I'm gonna talk to you about this beautiful monofin, and I'm gonna talk about the design, the weight, the speed, the comfort, and also the taste skin's compatibility. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is the price, because this monofin is a pricey monofin, okay? It's $250 and you can only buy it if you're from all around the world but America, which means that if you are living in America, you can maybe ask a friend or somebody abroad to buy it for you and maybe send it to you after, and then you can pay the person to do it. So it's maybe an option. The price is quite important because this monofin is 100% made of silicone, and silicone of good quality is pricey. So I think this is the reason why. And also if you compare it to other brands that are selling silicone monofins, you can see that this is a regular price. It's not something totally crazy expensive, okay? For comparison, the Fantasy Fin 2 from Merfriends is $260, so we are around the same price. The monofin itself has around the same size. I mean about the width. So the width is around the same, okay? So in terms of design, so the design is, as you see it, it really looks like a cetacean shape. So it's a really natural shape. Looks like a dolphin, a whale, really close to the natural world, okay? And it can remind you the design of the really well-known Mahena monofin, because you can find the lines that are also in the Mahena. You can also remember the thickness here is the same as the Mahena, and also the food pockets are really close, especially here in this area. The straps are really close. Just wait for the focus. You also have these parts here like in the Mahena. Here you have the holes to just evacuate the water. So it looks a bit like a Mahena, but it's not one. Because this one is 100% silicone, the Mahena is 100% recycled rubber. So the feel itself, it's not the same. I think that this design is really natural, it's really beautiful, and it's better for creating designs if you want to do your own mermaid tail. And when I bought this tail, it was maybe to create my own tail. Well, that's an idea that I have, and I think that this shape is perfect for this project. So in terms of design, I will put this monofin a 10 out of 10 because it's really beautiful to me. What I also like is the transparency. You can see my hand, you know. And when you use it in the water, it's so flowy. Its transparency is so beautiful to me, really. And I would like to play with that, and I want to make my own fabric, but just the goal that I have is let this transparency show and make this really natural effect that I really like. So for me it's a 100% good idea to choose this white color that is so beautiful and translucent. Let's talk about the weight. So in terms of weight, this Monofin weighs 2.5 kilos. So to me it's not a heavy Monofin, because my all-time favorite Monofin is the fantasy one from Mertailor, and my fantasy one weighs about 4 kilos, which means that for this weight you can have something way bigger and lighter. So this is something you can keep in mind. Some people would say it's something really heavy because tons of Monofins are way lighter than this, but to me it's not, and I really like the fact that it's in silicone, because silicone is neutral to negative buoyancy. I don't know how to spell this word correctly, sorry. And I am a very floaty person, okay? So to me it's really important to have a Monofin like this, because if, for instance, I need to stay down into the water for a moment and maybe take a pose or maybe do a small photo shoot, if I don't have something in silicone, I just float a lot, okay? It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. When I had a Mahina, the Mahina was hell to me, really. I dislike this Monofin a lot. This is my experiment. I don't say don't buy a Mahina, and not like that, but I really dislike this Monofin because it's so floaty. Like literally I can't stay more than 5 seconds under if I'm just, you know, posing like that, and it doesn't work on me. In terms of weight, I will put this Monofin a 9 out of 10, because I think you can always find something a bit lighter. And yes, it's not a really light Monofin, to be honest, but I really like that. So some people maybe won't like that. I know, we're all different. In terms of speed, I would say that this Monofin is quite speedy. I really felt like flying through the water, and the move is so flowy and really beautiful. It really looks like a dolphin, but even lighter than a dolphin. It really bends, and it's for me it has the perfect amount of floppiness and also propulsion and also beauty. So I really like this Monofin. I felt really good when I just started from one side of the pool, and then when I arrived at the other side of the pool, I really felt good. It was not an effort at all. The propulsion is really good. I would say it's as speedy as the Mahina, maybe even a bit better. It's close to the fantasy one. I'd say to me it's maybe in between the Linden and the Mahina. So in terms of speed, I don't think you can go as fast as with the Linden, because the Linden has more stiffness to it, but it's pretty speedy, and I really like the way it flows. It's so beautiful. Look at this floppiness! In terms of comfort, so I was very afraid about these straps here, and I think I was right because they are not, oh sorry for my hair, they are not made of rubber, but they still rub a bit the back of your feet and your ankles. So it's not the most comfy Monofin ever. And I'm also not a fan of this area here because it rubs a lot, and it's not the best thing ever. But I didn't have bruises, I didn't have scars, I didn't have redness after using this Monofin. I would recommend using socks, because when I used socks it was totally perfect. I don't like to use socks, so I was a bit like not really happy after my first swim. But when I used the Monofin with socks, it was perfect. So definitely for comfort, I would say 8 out of 10, because this could be perfect, this is not, but this is not bad at all. And if you use the socks, that's perfection. In terms of tail skins compatibility, oh my god, I said that. You can use this Monofin with the tails that Mermaid Lucia are selling, but you can also use this Monofin with all of the tail skins that are compatible to the Marina Monofin. So it won't fill in the fabric properly, so you can expect some floppiness, and you know, it's what happens when it doesn't fill the whole fabric. You can also use this Monofin with all the tails in the market that are open, which means, for instance, the ones from Magic Tail or from different brands that are working with the Marina as well. Some Chinese brands, some Thai brands, some other brands. I've also seen the Moonsong Magic creator using this Monofin in one of her tail skins, so it works really well. But at the moment there are not tons of tail skins available for it. That's also why this is a good tail for your own project. I use this Monofin to try this in a tail skin in my Myrtle Juice for the Fantasy Fin 2, and it works so well. I don't own the Fantasy 2 Monofin, mostly because it's really heavy and I have huge back pain and issues. So for me it's a very good alternative, and that's why I tried this. And yeah, I see you coming. I have an Odyssey tail, and this is the Fantasy Fin 2 in the Odyssey tail, and this is the silicone tails, which is really heavy. I'm not sure that silicone tails are totally made for me, but it was really my dream tail, that's why I have it. I'm more talking about a very frequent use, and for a very frequent use the Fantasy Fin 2 is too heavy for me. So I will only put a 7 out of 10 for the compatibility, because it's not totally 100% compatible at the moment. Another really important thing to talk to you about this Monofin is about sizing, okay? I have big sizing issues because my feet are too tiny. So most of the Monofins are way too big for me, and this one has size small that are 36, 37 European, so 7, 8 US, which is my perfect size. And now they even have extra small sizes, so this is a big moment for us mermaids or mermen with so tiny feet that you're never comfy in Monofins. So that was one of the things that made me buy this Monofin, because for instance, if you wanna know my tiny story, I had to wear neoprene boots in my Mahina when I had one. Boots, yes. I can let you imagine how easy it was to put my Mahina on, and the worst was when I was taking mermaiding lessons and everybody was already in the water and they had to wait about me because I was still trying to put my Mahina on. I know they have extra small Mahina, but the problem is that the size, it's too small to perfectly match the tail skins that you are buying on the market. So that's why I had a small and neoprene boots. I also wanted to say a little word about the customer service, because I had the opportunity to talk a lot with Lucia and she was so kind. I was really afraid about sizing because of my tiny feet, but I was afraid because the size small looked maybe too small for me. I won't show you the discussion with her because we were literally sending each other pictures of our feet with the measurements and everything, and she was so open-minded and we talked about tons of things. And yeah, it's a beautiful person and she's totally there for her customers. She's always answering questions. And one evening I was in my bed with my iPhone and we spoke together like 2 or 3 hours about mermaids, about concepts about mermaids, mermaid's tales, what she can maybe create for the customers, the sea creatures, the monsters, the movie inspired mermaid tales. And it was an amazing night, and really I was so surprised because we talked to each other like if we were friends. So definitely this customer service is something really unique and I will highly recommend. So I can show you the final score of this Monofin based on the different points that I talked to you today. And you can say that overall it's a really good one. It's also a really good alternative for us European mares, because for such a monofin the shipping from the US is so freaking expensive. So yes, you're maybe buying a quite expensive monofin, but you don't have the huge shipping fees that you can have with the ones coming from the US. So that can maybe help you balance the results, the prices, and maybe make your own choice. For instance, my favorite monofin of all time that you know now, it's the fantasy one. The shipping price for this monofin when you're in Europe is the price of the monofin. So if you imagine buying a bigger one, like maybe a fantasy 3, 4, 5, that are already pricier, and you can also add $114, $150 for shipping, and after you have the taxes and the amount of money is then really huge. So it's something that you can have in mind, even if I really I'm in love with the brand, you know. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this review. I hope it was not too boring to listen to me. I realized that my followers are mostly coming from English-speaking countries and I'm always talking to them in English, so I think it's way easier if I do videos like that. Don't forget to like if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I give you big kisses and I see you in my next video. Bye bye!